I'm Adrian, the cruise and travel guy. While the news of P&O Australia's demise isn't actually new, many people are now taking issue with the way that Carnival's marketing department is packaging these changes. Double the fun is the new Carnival catch cry, with 7 News Sydney recently taking the bait, covering the story in the evening news. In this video, I'll tell you the true price of this apparent fun, and if you like transparency in reporting, then click the like button for that, and leave an emoji in the comments below to let me know your favorite way to consume news content. Remember, before you book your next cruise, head to my website where you can shop, compare, and book all in one place. Carnival's Double the Fun campaign, in part, makes reference to the fact that from March 2025, the cruise line will operate 4 ships locally instead of 2. The soon-to-be ex-P&O Pacific Adventure and Encounter will migrate to Carnival and join Splendor and Luminosa, effectively doubling the cruise line's local capacity and the availability of their onboard fun. Scratch the surface of that claim, though, and the truth is laid bare. You might think that with 2 extra ships in the fleet, Carnival's onboard experience will double, but that's not quite the case. Carnival Splendor and Luminosa will offer the experience that you already know and expect, while the ex-P&O ships will offer a completely different Carnival experience. For the most part, Adventure and Encounter's dining, spaces, and activities will remain the same. Taking into account that Luminosa lacks some of the features and venues found on board Splendor, and the cruise line's local lineup will effectively be made up of 3 very different cruise experiences, all marketed under the one brand umbrella. It sounds like a recipe for confusion, especially in the shorter to medium term, and I don't quite know how the cruise line's going to handle that going forward. To learn more about the upcoming changes to Adventure and Encounter, you can watch my detailed video linked in the description below. Let's switch gears and take a look at the numbers. Surely they must be doubling. Well, combined, P&O Australia and Carnival currently operate a total of 5 ships within our local waters, representing a double occupancy, 12,506 berths. Almost as importantly, and factoring in that Carnival Luminosa only sails from Brisbane seasonally, and year-round berth capacity currently is 10,246. Come February 2025 though, P&O's oldest ship, Pacific Explorer, will sail away from Australia for the last time and begin a new life with a new operator. That means a few things for the Australian cruising public when Carnival doubles the fun. First up, year-round available berths will reduce from 10,246 to 8,248, a reduction of over 20% of available capacity. When Luminosa returns to Brisbane for the summer cruise season, capacity will have fallen from the previous 5-ship total of over 12,500 to just over 10,500, representing a decrease of around 16%. Explorer's exit will also mark the end of cruising from outside of Sydney and Brisbane. Under the Carnival brand, cruising will no longer be offered from cities like Auckland, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Fremantle. That means millions of Aussies and Kiwis will miss out on the convenience and affordability of home port cruising, and many regional towns located away from the eastern seaboard will miss out on the economic activity that comes with cruising. While it's technically true that Carnival's local fleet will double, in reality most Australian cruisers will not see any benefit, but in fact face reduced supply, less choice, and potentially higher fares. This is led by a wider trend of reduced cruise capacity in our market. Outside of Carnival, Princess Cruises has committed fewer ships to our waters. Royal Caribbean has reduced its local capacity, with Voyager of the Seas replacing Quantum of the Seas from Brisbane in late 2025. And cruise lines such as Virgin Voyages tried and failed to enter the local market. Personally, I don't think Disney Cruise Line will be far behind. To that end, Australia is not exactly a hospitable environment for the cruise industry. With no single governing body overseeing federal, state, and local interests, it has become problematic and costly for cruise lines to operate here. Conflicting regulations and policy considerations, high port fees and charges, and restricted port access in cities like Sydney are all contributing to a cruise market that is actually beginning to retract as cruise lines relocate their ships to more friendly and profitable places. State governments are somewhat committed to the cause, with many releasing plans to better engage with the cruise industry in the years ahead. Even so, Geraldton on the West Australian coast bid farewell to Holland America's Westerdam this past weekend, with the next ship not scheduled to arrive until February 2027. 7. While the cruise industry isn't going anywhere, I think we're really seeing the emergence of this shorter term, medium term even trend, with reduced supply, reduced choice, and higher fares. So who's to blame? Well, like anything at this scale, in my opinion, it all starts with the government. There's a lack of clear leadership in this space, but with 3 levels of government directly involved with port operations, a unified approach is almost foundationally flawed, but no less necessary. Carnival Corporation's decision to abandon the P&O Australia brand locally is pretty much symptomatic of these issues, and so I don't really blame Carnival Cruise Line for doing their best to market this as a positive change. However, I think it's become very clear that doubling the fun is pretty much putting lipstick on a pig. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I know this is a bit of a hot topic, and yeah, there's not really a right or wrong answer. Doubling the fun, I mean, that's just not really the truth, is it? But you can tell me what you think about that in the comments. Whenever you're ready to book your next cruise, whether that's on one of the 3 Carnival experiences we'll have from 2025 or any other cruise line, head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguide.com.au. Give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guide to stay up to date with my travels as they happen. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.